Good morning. Welcome to this morning's session of coffee and stocks at MyMI wallet. We're going to be looking at the markets going into today. We had our coffee and stock session over the weekend where we reviewed trades going that were performing in the week. We have lists to watch together. Start sharing some of these posts if you would. As you join in, please like, share, and subscribe to show your support for the movement here at MyMI wallet. What we're trying to accomplish, spreading the word. As you can see, Bitcoin over the weekend double top bottomed on 88 basically. It did go as low as 87,744, but we are now retesting that 92,000. And I think I did some calls and puts in and out on the Q last week. I was just riding the momentum of the market, more so tech and the NASDAQ. We can look at the SPY real quick and see what she's doing. We reviewed that over the weekend. Again, Saturdays we are now starting up our coffee and stocks. We're looking at the same time frame, potentially 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. that morning. That's where we'll go in and do a recap of the entire market and review some of those stocks that we were watching going into the weekend. As you can see, I don't know if you're paying attention there, there's the short gap up this morning. It looks like we tried to backfill a little bit, but we still got a little space to break around the 686. I mean, we're only up 64 cents from there, so no big deal. But overall, let's look at the longer time frame here. We're breaking that 685.88 that I was looking at over the weekend. We actually gapped up above it. Needs to find support. As you can see, this resistance goes back here. So another level to potentially watch would actually be right above where we're at, that 686. You can always watch our live stream beyond 8 a.m. on the week. During the week, we will leave this watch list. We have 2 watch lists. We typically put them 3 now. We're setting up a coffee and stock sessions on Saturday where we will list out stocks that we found through the week and we'll watch going into the next week. So I'm going to show you what we call our super trend, which will be on your left here in a minute. Our weekly top performers will be on the right, and that's auto generated. And then the watch list we select to watch will be on the bottom left, right under the super trend list. A minute for this to load. Go back into here, see what the Q's doing as well. I'm sure we had a gap up over there. Should see. We did see some weird economic data last week. We had last week the Treasury market logged the worst weekly root since April, and a bad sign for borrowers. Let's see. Inflation holding fast. Just anyways, it looks like we're gonna have to sit it over here for the day, and I just don't like the way that looks. But we'll go ahead and share it for now. Hopefully, you guys can see well. So yeah, this is our watch list. This is an automated watch list. We even got our news up here so we can see what's moving in the news. Let's see what is moving this morning. TGL was on the list last week. IRBT seen 117 million so far. TGL saw, oh my gosh, it's at $59. Look at that thing. So it had a split last week going into the pre-market session. It jumped. It had a 1 by 20. So it had a split last week going into the pre-market session. It jumped. It had a 1 by 20 split. It jumped up to like $29. Started to show some consolidation, but supported right there. She looks like she's still trying to run on us. Get the Discord going too. Switch this back over to the chart so you can see what I'm seeing. Switch switch this back over to the chart so you can see what I'm seeing. Where do I get that watch list? So I can send you an invite. That's what I was explaining earlier. Let me finish my thoughts. I'm still waking up, getting coffee. I see we got a few people on YouTube and Twitch. Morning, welcome. So yeah. So what we're doing today is, or what we're doing here. Need transparent chat on the screen. I thought I had it. I have it over here, I believe. Just to explain, from 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. we'll get on here together and review stocks live, and then from there at 8 we will share this. Let me switch the scene back. This will be shared in our Discord all day, and we will actually leave this Twitch stream up, so you can actually just stay on the Twitch stream and look at the stocks. This is an auto-generated thing. These are not manually. These two here are not manually put in here. So they're showing and looking for stocks all day for us, essentially. So yeah, at the top of the list today, based on volume, WBD. So for instance, you could see that at the top of the list and then pull up your own chart and look at it from that perspective. So the Twitch will be running pretty much from 7 a.m. at least 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. I'm trying to get a head start at like 6. I start work at 8, so that's when I end the actual live stream. But you can always join in the Discord and still have the voice chat. We also stream this in the Discord as well, so you don't even have to be on Twitch. And that way we can review it in the Discord while we're together, and actually share screens individually there. You can always join the Discord to join the voice chat too. That's also possible here. I don't know how many people really do that, but I like to bring people on to look at what they're looking at and not just make it about what I see. Have your trades you're interested in that work for you. And so I'm gonna just kind of go down this list of the ones we reviewed from Saturday. We actually did some analysis. You could see that video on our Twitch. And I'm gonna just kind of go through that. As far as what's moving right now, like I said, TGIL, CAPR was on. All right, let's look at the chart. We have TGL breaking out, hit a 87.48 high. CAPR is another. IBRT is right behind it. Look at her. We were watching it last week as well. IRBT. I said that backwards. She actually looks pretty healthy. We were looking for that retest, which she gapped up this morning and opened. She since backfilled that gap. Fortunately, we still have this back gap here to fill first. So what I pay attention to is this white line. This is the VWAP. See how she's trading underneath it? She needs to break out in the market open and stay above that VWAP. What I expect is if she does break out to the upside, the 70 EMA will touch that VWAP and she'll collapse. But what you need to watch is this lower support trend. As you can see, we're kind of doing this ascending wedge. I'll show you. Something to, let's see, that degree. I see it right there. And then if you bring that over here, it kind of aligns. You can see our touch points. So this market session today around 11 o'clock will be interesting to see if she continues to push higher through this resistance that she's formed, or if she'll break down here and retest that support. I think since she created support after the resistance, she may retest the resistance, but ultimately break through the support and give that entry of 350 or so. If not, right there at the bottom of this blue support that she's made. If she breaks all that, 352, then we're going back to 303. Retest that lower level support you can see. What else? DRMA is next on the list that we were watching over the weekend. And then what I'll do is I'll go through the top 3 and then we'll go from there. So after hours you saw DRMA break out. She went all the way to 449, consolidated since. The VWAP did crank down in this open, which is good. That's a healthy pullback. You can see we're going green on the BX trender, but if You can see how she's trading underneath that support level now. She needs to get back above, stay, and use that as its leverage to move forward. Otherwise, we could come back to the 260. Might run into some support first around the 285s before we get to that point, but definitely something to watch. And then SPHL looks like it's up pre-market 4%. Again, we were looking at that retest and support on the 488, and then retested the 603s again. As you can see, it was the high there. She's retested it multiple times. She could triple top there, and if she does, I mean, look, she's just been constantly retesting it. So 603 we think is a good target for it. As far as the return on this trade, that's $1.13 or so. So that's about a 25 to 30% trade. You know, that's something likable. What we don't want to see is the market open and crank this down below that 488 and push through this support back to that 70 at least. And you know, I mean, it does provide you a better entry at 415 to get in there. It's about 75 cents less. So nothing wrong with that, but you don't want it to lose that momentum that you see. This green right here is laying on top of our red EMA. And then it's above the 70, the VWAP's cranking up, all these great things, right? But again, trading under VWAP in pre-market is the first rule I just pointed out a minute ago. Something to watch out for there. What else on the list? Toro was one that ripped last week as well. Let's see what she's doing. That Discord up too. Toro, she broke above that top line resistance, and you know, again, trading above the VWAP. So this is one I do like. Trading above the VWAP. Let's see her support above this range, and then take off, right? And if she were, look on a longer time frame, where would she go? You can see she's supporting long term pretty healthily. So she's up 127% as of Friday's session. This is pushing her even higher. We can see she tapped out at 129%, but was sitting extra 10% basically. So still a good run there in it. Let's look on the 4 hours, see if we can get some higher ranges up there. Nope. Let's look on the weekly, see what their top lines are. Yeah, I mean, if you look at it from a weekly perspective, we can even drill down to the daily probably, and she'll look a little easier. You can see how she's cranking. So technically, next level up is 957. We can mark that. I believe we can mark that. Oh, so that's it right there. Let me go back here. See if we got any support in this. Yeah, would watch it from this level. So 786 target there. We're currently at 596 going into the pre-market. You can see she gapped up though. I hate gap ups. She'll most likely backfill on open and crank off of that support there. That's what I'm looking at. If she doesn't support right here, 493. But I mean, she just took off. She has earnings, and that was on Friday. So that's what's centered through the moon. Let me go to the 4 hour now. See what we look like. Yeah. So she reported on Friday, pre-market, 70 or so, 73. Like I said, peaked at. If you haven't already, thank you for joining Coffee and Stocks. If you would, please share with other traders that you may know want to join us. Just watch the live stream. We'll be on here from 6 to 8. After 8, we'll leave the watch list up so you guys can watch it. We'll also put that in the Discord. We'll move from the Coffee and Stocks voice channel in our Discord to the MyMI exclusive, where our premium users will have access to sit there in that Discord, watch the watch list as well, but also we'll trade. As people are wanting to look at stocks, we can look at them together. Going into the pre-market up to the 8 o'clock point. Beyond that, we'll leave this live stream up on YouTube and Twitch all day, from at least 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. So you can see what ends up at the top of the list by the end of the day. But you can also, it's a living, breathing document. I mean, a generator. So you can also see what moves in and out of the watch list. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you'll be able to tell what's performing better overall, and that's what we're looking for in our watch list. That's what this, right? And I feel like if we can figure out where the money's going, even if it was last Friday, even if it was Thursday, I had SMX that we saw hit the list last week, and we were trading at around $64. And as you can see, I mean, she has just, we had these drawings go down to the 1 hour there. We can even probably dig into the 15 because it was only in the last two trading sessions she really exploded. We were actually trading it down here in these 50 levels. I mean, you